Hi. I'm just dividing this up. But so welcome back again. Words with Al. We are. I'm just gonna let it go and explain my thoughts a bit more because I see that I'm both jumping a lot in the timeline. I'm not really giving you any line here to to hold on to. So so I'm going to explain what. Okay, building on that previous theory that civilization rises, right? But it also rises and falls. Now, whenever it rises, it has created a distinct language. Okay. Now, these other people who spread that were not inside of or part of civilization, that specific part, they were not affected. But when civilization that one fell, those people spread so that that knowledge that was obtained in that civilization became more readily available. And then suddenly that sound was added to the vocabulary. Okay? So we step by step, so each civilization created new knowledge that later would build the foundation for our words. This uh, explains a lot. This explains quite a lot. But um, so then the question is, can we truly find a root? Because then it has every time it rose and fell, those changes were spreading and reaching mankind, thus affecting the original sounds. Or okay, because I'm just playing with this idea. Okay, what I'm not saying I'm right. We're talking about prehistory. We're talking about thousands of years back. This is myth. This is living myth. Like, I can't confirm this. No one can. Okay, no one can confirm this. That's what makes it prehistory and a myth. This is better than Tolkien's myth. But again, let me also explain something else. So this is very beautiful, especially if you read Tolkien. You would know Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, everything. You would know the famous phrase, which is that evil cannot create. Okay, only good can create. What is good? Nature is good. What is natural is good. Okay, so I didn't mean to, in the previous video, I didn't mean to say that civilization itself was evil, but it led to that amount of wealth and gains led to selfishness because it created a pyramid type of hierarchy, um, right? Where the ones who made these discoveries or advancements were on the top, and everyone else followed, but they weren't on the top. They were the king, right, or the head, the most intelligent one in the group, right? So they were always following a leader, and there were probably more leaders as well. But um, okay, now I'm going into many things here, and okay, I'm just gonna stop there. Let's just keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple. We had these ideas, these civilization rising, creating ideas, new words, and then they fell, and these fellings led to a spread, right? Spread, and these spreads added layers to language. And these layers would later become, would be tweaked within that new civilization, right? So every time it was tweaked again and again and again, which then leads us to obviously very many languages. But what if, what if, so our original state is stillness. Okay. And speech itself was what was leading to civilization. And those who were not a part of civilization, like today, even, were just living with nature. They had the trees, they had the berries, they had the animals, they had the ocean. They could hunt, eat, sleep, make love to one another or to the love, and create a lot of kids and just enjoy that and just be in that joy, or well-being that nature is. Sure, there are storms as well, and there is many layers to nature, but in it is beautiful, it is creative, and it is well-being. That is what is keeping us alive. Otherwise, like, why would we want to be here? Like, it will be painful. And plus, we know, like, the end is death. So, like, this is not, like, obviously not a cool thing for us. That is, like, not a, our end is not the thing that we really want. We don't want to die. We don't want to die. So we've been escaping death. Okay, let's not jump there now. Let's not jump there now. But so let's say that we were just still living with nature, making love to my woman, getting my kids, showing them how I survive, how I get along in this on this earth, and going through that whole process was the purpose. There was no purpose. Nature has no purpose except that it truly wishes to exist. It wishes to have all these experiences. That's why it exists in infinite forms. It wants to fly, so it's a bird now. It wants to swim, and it wants all these experiences, or so it seems. And it isn't stopping, right? And let's look at evolution. Okay, let's just look at evolution also. We have, so in our bodies exists everything that has ever lived. Okay, everything that has ever lived is in this body and in your body, right? We're not. So that, what was my idea? So that, yes, evolution. Sorry. Um, so evolution, as we understand it today, right? It's like, oh, it's cats, it's dogs, it's not. But they weren't always that. They were, the further back we go, the more it was just one cell. So from one cell came all these forms of life, right? So the whole chicken and the egg is just a stupid mind question, right? Because it can't be the chicken, it has to be the egg, the cell. The cell has to come first. And the thought, the idea, even, like, we can go further, but let's not go there because I don't think that you're ready. This is a big, big idea, an existence. is infinite, and God is endless, infinite, which we see in form, right? We see infinite form. So clearly, life, God is everything, everything. And God really wants every experience. So it seems. So everything I'm saying now is just myth, but you have to you have to hear whether there is anything in it. Okay. But back to the evolution theory. So we forget, we literally forget, yeah, we literally forget that the root, we forget the root. I notice now that I've already received some criticism in terms of my theory, which is, well, it's not the theory yet because it's really still being processed and it is evolving kind of. It's revealing itself. I'm working on it. I'm seeing what I need to see. Much cannot be confirmed, right? Because this is prehistory. But we're just using the sounds that we have, that we know of. And by gathering all the sounds and all the semantics, we have then gathered the whole language of mankind. It is truly that simple. We don't need to over conceptualize this and make it into concepts, like compartmentalize things, right? We do get that a dog and a cat are different, but they weren't always that, right? So this is so obvious. Everything I say here is very obvious, yet it's not for our world. Our world is not intelligent. They're truly not intelligent. They're not with nature. They're with their self-interest. People care about their self-interest. Like, I want a better living. I want a better life. I want more. I want everything, And even if it means that you won't, then yes, I'll have it. Or so the states here now are. But we are speaking about a long, long, long time of history, and I'm sharing ideas as I go along. And these ideas pertain to different time periods, but also different people and different regional areas on Earth. So it is very difficult to, obviously, to encapsulate everything, which is why I am building on it and providing it here because I want more people to look at it. If it's nothing there, it will be revealed, obviously, but let's not joke around. 1 + 1 = 2, right? A is A in all languages. Doesn't matter. O is O in all languages. E is E in all languages. It is sound. We're talking about sound. Look at this as a music theory, right? There are this amount of tones. Each of these, this is what we feel about these tones. And then, conceptualize further from that. That is the root. Just keep it simple, please. Which is not what we like. We love of overcomplicated things. We love it. We love, like, oh, ooh, wow, imagining things where they aren't really not. And then because we love that distinction, what makes us special? That is the selfishness in us, right? So remember that everybody has selfishness. Everybody has a self, but not everyone is selfish. Okay, we all have a self. Of course, I need to protect my body. Of course, I need to have a degree of self-interest, or a self that protects his body, that defends it. It's there to fight. Wow. So the whole thing, but but it is not needed in truth. Mm, it is only now needed in our sick society. Like obviously, it is a sick society because we've instead of providing for all, which is in our ability, uh, we we have decided to fight one another, to kill one another. As we speak, people are dying because they're killing each other. Yeah, we know that, okay? But it's like dogs killing each other. Like it's crazy. Like just yeah, the absurdity of it all. It's a gaslighting. Our world is a big gaslight. They gaslit us to believe that we have no power, that we are not intelligent, that you need to verify externally information always, that your judgment can be doubted because you are unintelligent, according to power, who always want to teach us whatever truth is, right? This is not always done in a bad, like an evil intention, not always. This is sometimes done just because of pure ignorance, because ignorance is unfortunately widespread now. Okay, that was a bit grim there as well, but it is. Um, it is because we have become very selfish, and nature is not selfish. Nature is Predators are not selfish. Predators just eat whatever they need because they need to survive, and then they go on and relax and wait until they're hungry again, and then they go eat. Simple. They don't think about tomorrow because they don't need to. There's enough food. I will catch one. I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna eat you. Okay. So now we're combining even the preys and the predators here. Yeah, because we're part of both. But um, prey and predator are both natural. They're not evil. Evil is only in the man and woman. There is no evil in nature. They eat one another. They need to survive. They don't look at if it's a baby, if it's not. Like obviously they don't know these things. It's just they're really hungry. They need that food. So they can't. They're just instinctual. It's nothing to do with what they understand. They're not self-conscious like we are, which is what makes us selfish. I am consciousness, but if my consciousness, my awareness, if my consciousness is pointed toward myself, then I become selfish. But my consciousness is actually, like originally, was focused on nature, on providing for the family, because you were man, you were the protector. If it wasn't you, it was none. You were the father. You taught everyone, and you were were the safest thing, and you protected everyone because you were righteous. You were beautiful. Nothing could move you. Pure intelligence. Pure intelligence. You're just shining. And that is not what we are now, because our elites have gaslit us for a long time. Okay, this began during the Abrahamic times. It didn't begin with the prophets, but with the ones who came later, and so on and so forth. Now I'm really jumping in and down, but it doesn't matter because it's all really tied up. Like we have to go back and forth because it is this way we can understand it, like all its sides and all the factors that are involved there, because there's so many. Just imagine me trying to explain such a big idea in such a short amount of time, and it's not everything that I understand fully yet myself. So I need to wait until I fully do, and then it's just so I'm just sharing. But yes, so that's it. Okay, civilization grew, boom, spread, new ideas spread, and then suddenly everybody is like, oh, we don't understand anyone because how could they? And then they didn't understand how this even happened. How could they? um, but these people, again, as I said, these outside civilization, these are the people, the roots. They hold at least a lot of the old times. So we should go to them and get that so that we can build this timeline. Okay, I'm just laying out what we need to get this answer because this answer is achievable. It is possible. Like we know through DNA tests that we came from the same family. This too is verifiable. Like it's not really rocket science, and nor either is it fantasy. This is not a fantasy. This is not religion. We're literally talking about things, but we understand that people during those times didn't had different ideas about something, and that idea would change, or the meaning, what we associated the meaning to that idea would change, which then thus created different words and sounds, but also an intellectual understanding around that idea. Because that idea grew, our intellect grew, we understood more and more and more and more, and suddenly we could do more. And this process of knowledge is what has led to all these languages. Yeah, so that's it. So the question is then, can we do this work? Yes, only if we drop the big civilizations. Okay? All the history that we have, we need to drop it. Drop it. Throw it out the window. We just have to do this for this task. I'm not saying do not believe it. I'm just saying that we need to toss them out. So, so the Romans, the Greeks, the Hebrew, the Arabs, the Akkadians, everyone, all these big groups, all these big civilizations, these peaks, we need to toss them out because because they represent those developments. So they would not be the roots, right? So we just need those outside civilization, please. We need them. So we need Albanians because they were so primitive and rural for a very, very long time, which both Greeks and Serbs and all those in the regions know. But at the same time, not everywhere, and not yeah, they're also very beautiful. Everyone was in their own sense and way. Everyone is. Um, in essence at least, not today. Okay, let's not call everyone beautiful because not everyone is beautiful. We just have to state the fact. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they can't be. It just means that they're not now. Okay. Okay. So now we have that explained. So what we need is we need those outside civilization. We need the sounds and semantics that they have. And then we need to gather them to create this map of sounds and what they mean. And then we compare it to ours. And what we will find, what maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know. This might just be a fluke, but it really doesn't matter. We don't have any really much better things to do. I mean, we're killing each other. We're like waging war, and we're like, oh, we want to go to the moon, and like we want to go to Mars, and we have all these ambitions, but really we don't know anything. We're just trying to figure things out. But this is a beginning. This can be a starting point. This can be a beautiful starting point, right? Let's really put our focus on something that is valuable, because this is not only a journey through our ancestors' minds, but also what each of those things meant for them, what it meant during that time. And if you have noticed, my language has become worse and worse and worse whilst I'm doing this work. My grammar has just been, and I've just become so synonymous. Everything is just synonymous in my mind now. Um, so I'm like traveling back in time and losing all these modern features, or so it is. Um, so I am perceiving it to be. But it doesn't matter because that is what I'm asking. So obviously, this is what would be natural to occur. So, but yes, now we know. Okay, now we know what to do, and also why this Albanian is one of those groups. Albanian has risen um, in Europe throughout time. Now, when I say Albanian now, I mean, sorry, but I'm saying Albanian because people don't get why Albanian poses such a big what's happened here. And the reason for that is because, as I said, Albanian retains a lot of semantics for monosyllables, and they haven't been part of civilization now for a long time, at least antiquity. Antiquity was a big time for them. We see this in Greek mythology, because Greek gods' names and those ideas pertaining to Hellenistic times are explainable using Albanian, not Greek. Today, unfortunately, they can't explain them. They try to, but they really can't, because they have, as I said, evolved. They have developed so much. Remember that Greece was a big civilization. Those ideas that flourished during that time were adopted by the people after it fell. So what I'm saying is that Albanian was a spoken language during antiquity, and it was part of what we know today as this Greek culture. So Albanians and Greeks were then either the same people, right, which is, makes a lot of sense because it was way back. So their languages would have been quite similar, which is what we find. This is what we find. So I will get a lot of opposition, but I don't care. Like, obviously, like, I'm not, as I said, here to score points. What am I going to score with this? Except that, well, to reveal something that we have forgotten. Okay. So that's that. And yes, so Greek evolved further and spread, and then became, right, a lot of many different languages. But or Greek or Albanian. I say Albanian. The Greeks wouldn't agree with me. They would say Greece. Greek is actually the root words for European culture. But and I do agree, it is in their time, right? So we had different times, different civilizations rising, and these civilizations are cities, literally. They're cities, right? So cities, but they also fall because of conquer, because of other circumstances, disease, and then those people obviously go to the next city, and so the cities just move. And then, like, we've exploited this place. Now we got to go to the next place that exploit that. We got to cut the trees. We got to take the stones. We need to change the river and get the water. Right. We really have exploited Earth in every possible way instead of just following it, just letting it allow. Like, we can build around this way instead of like making a dam. Doing that, like, so instead of cutting streams, because that's what we've done. Okay, now it's a really bad state for Earth because of all the streams we've cut. these cuts are the bloodline of Earth, of life. So we can't really cut these rivers without consequences, but we haven't gotten it yet. But we will, unfortunately. But yeah, but then it might definitely possibly be too late. But hey, like life will find a way. So we will never die out. Okay, like don't worry, don't get grim ideas here. I'm not trying to give you doom days idea. But I'm just saying like naturally, or that's the consequences of what we're doing. Like this is not, it's not rocket science, okay? But yeah. So thank you for listening. It is a pleasure. It is truly a pleasure for me. And regarding the other video of how we connect Semitic and Indo-European and why Albanian plays this role, is you can just look at genetics. Okay, if you don't look at genetics in Kosovo, as particularly in Kosovo and Montenegro and Macedonia, North Macedonia, like whatever. They have the highest degree of Levantine genetics, which means Middle East. And they came from Middle East like approximately 6,000, 7,000 years ago, maybe more. We don't know exactly, but that's approximately it. So Albanians are the closest ones to Middle East genetically. And you can double check that if you want to, and you will find that. I'm still going to do my test as well. I haven't done it, so let's see. Haha, what makes them I? Obviously, it doesn't matter. But I want to corroborate the facts with these findings, right? If this is how we can test this, validate it, through obviously comparing what we have with what we find and seeing if it is within or any has any connection. Yeah, it's very simple. So that's it. Thank you for today. What else? Oh, I want to say another thing as well. Um, um, so on the previous one, there was some errors that I made. Like there was some errors because I was just skimming through and I was like just going at going a bit spontaneous. But then when I saw the video, I was like, oh yeah, I see I did that mistake there with the Latin illich hitch thing. I don't think they say ch, that it was probably k, right? And then also the pronunciations of Arab, Anna, 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 al, Anna, al. Okay. To all my Arabs, I love you guys as well. I love everyone. I love everyone, I swear. But yeah, yeah. I love all the cultures. I love all the languages. I love everything because that's what makes us us, you know? So, yeah. So, thank you again. Next video, I'm going to go back to some words more, like deciphering more words. Maybe not so old ones because I think I'm scaring people. Like it will be a bit scary, or maybe I will be judged bad. Like I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Okay, this is just fun. If it is true, it is. If it is not, it's not. Simple. But but it won't be that easy. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. And have a good evening. Cheers.